the platform where we have uncommon political discourse and analysis among other topics that we cover here. And viewer, wherever you are, today I want to invite you to discourse on an event that happened a while ago, probably a few days ago, a week ago. And there's been a lot of hula-baloo concerning the sentiments of one Hassan Omar, the Secretary General of UDA Party, when he spoke last week in a meeting in Mombasa.
Wale walituchukulia mashamba Kwale, wale walituchukulia mashamba huku katika maeneo ya pwani yote, na waambia mkuwe tayari kuregesha nazi. Wenye nazi sasa wako tayari kuja kuzinyakua. Adui wetu yule hatupendi, yule ataka kuturegesha nyuma, yule fisadi, yule aliyetangulia kama rais wa jamhuri hii, yule anafadhili upinzani, yule aliweka vikaragosi, yule hakuwa na azma ya Raila, yule hakuwa na azma ya sisi kuendelea mbele, yule aliyotusaliti, yule na watu wake tutawaweka katika kaburi la sahau ili waende huko mbele watokomee.
And a lot of people have made comments. We've seen the NCIC summon him, and the political class is up in arms. And someone asking, what exactly about those sentiments was not okay? What is it that was incitement? Because a lot have said it is hate speech, it is incitement, and a lot of things are flawed. And I would like us to give it a little, reasoning and look at it outside of the emotion and outside of sentimentality, and ask ourselves, what are the issues that Hassan Omar raised? And I'm not talking for him, I'm not talking for nobody, but I'm just at the position of truth. We want to analyze facts as they are. And so Kimandi Media is here. You can subscribe and be part of this journey. You can also comment. My number is running down there, +2547 21786 242. So Hassan Omar, the truth, the maids, the lies, the truth. Today we want to address that. So I have listened severally, and you will have opportunity to watch a portion of that script, that video. But I heard Hassan Omar mention about 3 or 4 things. Number one, he talked about the leadership that came before President Ruto. And of course, if we go backwards, then what was the leadership? The latest one before Ruto was Uhuru. The other one was Kibaki. The other one was President Moi. The other one was Uhuru's father, Jomo Kenyatta the late. And now he said that these leaders, they marginalize the coast people. That is a concern. These are Coastorians speaking. These are men from the coast speaking, that they were marginalized. He said they are nazi zilichukuliwa. I think that was a figure of speech to refer to their wealth, their heritage. And he said mashamba yao yalichukuliwa. Akasema mengine yalichukuliwa by those who are in power. Na akasema, and I think this is where probably it has raised eyebrows, ya kwamba wamepata nazi lao moja la rudishwa. And what was the setting of that particular meeting? They were getting title deeds. And for the longest, the coast people, when other people have gotten their title deeds, the coast people have been squatters in their own land. And I dare ask, is the coast people being squatters in their heritage, their land, the land of their ancestors? Are they supposed to be squatters in their land? Is saying that they have been squatting on their own land a crime? I think not. I think they have a reason, and they are not the only ones who have spoken about the land at coast. Those issues have been canvassed by others who have come before. The Ronan Galas, they have canvassed those issues. They have talked about the coast, the land question in the coast province. And I think a time has come, viewers, that we face some of these issues so that they don't just happen underground I know sometimes we fear that they may raise sentiments and all that. But then burying the issues under the sand and being like that proverbial ostrich, assuming we see no evil, we hear no evil, is that a solution to the coast problem, the land question in the coast? The absentee landlords who own tracts of land that are so huge, they are not cultivated, but the titles are held elsewhere. I heard my president, the president of this republic, Ruto, say that he has a program to buy back those lands from the absentee landlords and allocate them to the coastal people. And to me, that is justice. And President Ruto, that is the way to go. That is what Kenyatta Senior did not do. That is what Moi did not do. That is what Uhuru did not do. And that is what Ruto is doing. And I heard Hassan Omar say that Ruto has restored back the dignity of the coastal people. What other dignity can someone have restored back more than the land of your ancestors? Owning a document that gives you guarantee of ownership in the mountain area, central Kenya and the highlands and other places. We got titles long ago. And people are using those titles for business, for investments, to access financial inclusivity. The coast people could not do that. If then this time President Ruto has done it, then I think, to me, I agree with Hassan Omar. He is restoring back the dignity of the coastal people, and that should have been done like yesterday, and it should go on. If someone is uncomfortable with that, then I think there is a problem. And I think we should even question those who have avoided giving the coastal people ownership of their own land, more than questioning Omar when he is just saying the truth as it is, and the truth must be spoken as it is, so that then we can find a solution. And then I think, again, he talked about that there are those people who took the coastal land, big chunks of land. And I dare say, probably some of them are a bit uncomfortable. Because in this country, there are people who took land in coast. They were not born there. They did not buy the land. It was not their land. But we are somebody has 60,000 acres of land of coast. Whereas there is a coastal family that is squatting, that is living in squalor. If someone asks that question, is that a bad question? I think we have to have this conversation. And the conversation of land must be had. It has to take place. I think at some point, during Kibaki's time, when NAC was in power, we even had a discussion on through the Ndongo report. And it is good to remind ourselves some of these documents. The Ndongo report, it recommended that there be a ceiling for land that an individual can own, a family can own. And I am asking, why should one family or one person own land equal to 3 counties or 2 counties or 1 county when there are people who have no land? And even as we talk about the coast problem, we need also to talk about the mountain problem. Those who fought for land in Mount Kenya area, the central Kenya area, truth be told, the Mau Mau people, even up to today, it has been promises. They were told they were fighting for land, because the reason why the Mau Maus went to war was first of all for land. And that is what Kimathi, Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi, he fought. He brought together fighters, Mau Mau fighters, number one, to reclaim the land. They wanted to get back their land, which had been taken by the colonizers, the settlers, and they were moved to villages. They were moved to squalor life. And those lands were made estates, white highlands, and estates of all the whites. And when the whites went away, and the Kimathis and been swept away, the General Chinas and been swept away, it is true that a few politically correctly positioned families, they took away those lands. They took away those lands. Justice was not done. Restorative justice was not done. The White Islands should have been allocated to the sons and daughters of Mau Mau. It did not happen. Now you have people with 100, 200, 600,000 acres of land. For what? The recommendations of the Ndongo report is that there should be a ceiling for land ownership for individuals, and any land that is idle must be taxed, so that then the poor can have land. And I think dignity is making the Kenyan person feel that they belong here and they have value. Dignity in housing, for example, when the programs that are there to build houses for our people so that someone can move from a squalid slum life to a decent house. That is dignity. When you give people back their land and their titles, that is dignity. And I think that is what Hassan Omar was talking about. People may have a few issues with probably the tone of his speech. But you see, you can't be soft when you are hurting. I think Hassan Omar, I don't think he was speaking for UDA party. I think he was speaking as a son of the soil, born in coast, lived in coast, and having seen the beach lands all taken away, the estates that have been taken away. And I'm not against, a willing buyer, willing seller. I'm not against investments in land. I'm not against farming. I'm not against development. No. But I am saying justice must be seen to be done. Justice must be seen to be done. Because land is a factor of production. When you deny people land, you deny them one of the greatest factors of production. There are people who have just become millionaires because they took land, they stole land, and they subdivided and sold again, and they made wealth, whereas the original owners are in squalor. They're in squalor. And I think the land question, and again, Kenyans, listen to me. I think the land question in Kenya must be addressed soberly. Yesterday, and a few days ago, 3 days, I was in the vast lands of Laikipia, where the Maasais, the Samburus are there, and other tribes, the Merus, the Kikuyus, they are there. They are vast lands, and there are those, sanctuaries and the plantation, the large tracts of land that, the whites own. I'm not saying that we are not supposed to be there. Let us appropriate our land. But for goodness sake, let the indigenous peoples of these places, these vast lands, find justice. And that is why probably I support the conservancy concept, where the communities hosting the conservancies can benefit from value that comes through tourism, that comes through the resources that they have, the resource of land. And that should be replicated in other places. And so if I have to say this, we should not be carried away by the smoke. We need to look for the fire. We should not go after the noise. Let us calm down. Tutulize kelele mingi. Na tuje tuongee the facts on the ground. Are the coast people the better? Have their land been taken away at some point? Have they benefited from that? Is there a way we can restore dignity to them, especially their land? Is there a way there can be an affirmative action for the coast people, the Mijikendas and the others? And that is the question. The Mijikendas are the original owners of that land. They have been there. Hassan Omar may not be a Mijikenda, but he's speaking their language. He understands. The family has been the coast, the Mazuru's family has been there. So he's speaking something that is resonating with the Coastorians. And so I want to urge whoever is speaking, and there's some people who are talking about Hassan Omar. Themselves, they are bigger casualties. They have been talking about their tribes, about shares. They have been talking about watu wetu. they have been more divisive. And I want to call order in this matter, that the NCIC, wherever you are, and I believe you have the best of intentions. You have the best of intentions, the chair of an NCIC. We should not be seen to be siding, to be summoning this one, and you did not summon the other. If we have to be fair, then we call a spade a spade. If these are the standards, these are the standards. I have heard politicians who have spoken more vitriol, more hatred on television and repeated it across the political parties. Mimi siongei mambo ya milengo. Mtu aongea akiwa serikali, akiwa opposition.